someone on Twitter at the time said, "Hey, you should fight Zuck," and I said, "Well, I'm willing to fight if he is." And then Zuck posted, I think on Instagram or something, name the place or something to that effect. And I was like, okay, how about the Vegas Octagon? And then Italy actually was willing to let us use the Coliseum. So then I was like, well, can't turn that down, you know. And then I was like, well, if it's going to be in the Coliseum, we're not like, I like UFC and everything, but we don't have like tons of ads and UFC branding on the Coliseum because it's a historical, play. It's a it's a place of great history. You don't want to just have it be all like NASCAR.
Right.
So then and then Zuck pulled out. Used the pull out method.
So he pulled out of it. He pulled out of it?
Yeah.
Oh. What was the narrative? What'd you hear, Jamie?
I don't remember.
Well,
I know
listen,
you did.
I'm willing to. So he was like, "Oh no, it's got to be UFC rules." I'm like, "Well, okay, we could have UFC rules in the Coliseum. It's fine, but we just don't want to have. We got to respect the historical integrity of the place."
The Coliseum just seems like the coolest place to do it.
Yeah.
That's why.
I mean, like Gladiator, come on.
And if they said it's okay,
yeah.
So he just wants it to be in the actual UFC, like in Vegas.
Yeah, so then he said, "Oh well, he accused me of not being serious." And I said, "Look, listen. At the end of the day, if I'll fight you any place, anywhere, under any rules."
Oh,
Zuck. That's what I said.
Wow.
So I'm name the. He said name the place. And I'm like I'm happy to fight him in a house, on a mouse, with a louse. We'd like go full Dr. Seuss here.
Now, how much time?
I'm way bigger than him. This is unfair.
I know you.
I don't think you should fight me because
you're so much bigger than him.
Yeah, I'm like 50% heavier than him.
Yeah,
I'll just use I've got my patented walrus move. I just lie on him.
Walrus move?
Well, like a walrus doesn't need martial arts training,
right?
Because it's really big. Right. You don't want to go wrestling a walrus,
right?
Because it's going to roll on you.
Have you ever rolled with someone who's much smaller than you that does jiu-jitsu?
Yes.
Lex, yeah.
Yeah. No, I did 10 years of martial arts.
How much have you trained personally?
I did for a decade of it.
Well, you did a lot of karate, right?
I did
judo,
Kyokushinkai, karate.
Yeah.
I did some jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, street fighting, which was involuntary. I'm I think I'd be decent. I did martial arts competitions when I was a teenager.
Really? Interesting. So look at you, George St. Pierre, Elon, John Danaher, the great master, and Lex Friedman.
But like Lex is, I think he's got like 20% heavier than Zuck. So, and I'm way bigger than Lex.
Yeah.
That's why they have weight categories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to talk to Danaher at all? The guy on the left?
Yeah,
that guy's fascinating.
No. Do
you know his history?
No, he's from New Zealand or something.
He was a professor of philosophy at Columbia.
Okay.
And fell in love with jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
I mean, fell in love with it to the point where he was sleeping on the mats and teaching all day long. He's an obsessive. He is a real Kaizen disciple. And
he seems zen.
Oh, man. He's one of the most unique characters I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
One of the most brilliant men I've ever met. And he's completely dedicated to jiu-jitsu. And he has raised through this, particularly this one disciple, Gordon Ryan, who also lives here in Austin. He's the greatest jiu-jitsu competitor of all time. Yeah. There's no question. And he's only 28.
Okay.
He might even be 27, or maybe he's 28 now. But, I mean, he is universally regarded as the greatest of all time. And he is John's greatest student.
Okay.
And the two of them together, because Gordon has insane work ethic. They work 365 days a year. They do not take any days off. They train every day. That's Gordon to the right of John with the crazy beard. He doesn't really have that hair. He bleaches it. But the two of them together are literally an unstoppable combination.
That guy looks ripped.
He's pretty ripped. Yeah, he's a combination of gigantic, brilliant, and insanely dedicated with the most incredible instructor that's ever existed. I mean, John Danaher is universally regarded as the greatest jiu-jitsu instructor alive. And his student is universally regarded as the greatest jiu-jitsu competitor alive.
Yeah.
And it is because John is like a complete like a guy out of a superhero book.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not going to find another one of those. A guy
Yeah.
with a genius level IQ who's one of the, I mean, you talk to him, he's fascinating. And he is obsessed with combat sports, warfare, like strategy.
Yeah.
Brilliant guy.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But no, you
guy.
see, I was impressed when I met him.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that like, if I was fighting someone where I was not much bigger than them, then I would be more concerned.
How much time would you need to prepare?
I don't need any time.
No time at all?
No,
How's your cardio?
it's not. That will not be a factor.
Really?
Yeah.
Very confident.
I mean,
What's the likelihood of this actually happening?
I'm willing to do it anytime, anywhere, any place, any rule.
Well, I think stating it this way might
Yeah.
accelerate this process,
Great.
especially on this platform.
I mean,
I think we can
I
make this
challenge
happen.
him to a duel under any circumstances.
A sword fight?
Sure.
Jesus. That's not necessary.
Pistols at dawn.
That's not necessary. I think physical hand to
Nerf
hand.
guns at noon.
Yeah. Nerf guns at noon. Well, you could slash it out in the metaverse. But
Yeah.
in the real world,
Listen, there's just a reason they have weight categories, you know. So, you know, there's a friend of mine who is pretty good at fighting, but she weighs about half of what I do, and I said, let me show you why there's weight categories in fighting. And I'm gonna do a move called the Walrus, and you have to I'm just gonna lie on you. I'm not gonna put you in a lock or anything. I'm just gonna lie on you. But I'm gonna, you know, position myself such that it's hard to get out from under me. And I'm gonna lie crossways on you, and you try to get away, and you won't be able to get away, because you couldn't. Just you know, like if a horse falls on you,
right.
you can get trapped under a horse.
Right, but you're not a horse. What do you weigh? About 230?
Yeah, 240. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not a horse, but I'm saying in the limit, if something's heavy enough, like, you know, if a horse falls on you and dies, you can get trapped under a horse and not be able to get yourself out.
Right. But if someone's good enough, I mean, I'm sure you've seen like absolute weight classes in jiu-jitsu where you'll get a 145-pound competitor who strangles a 220-pound competitor, and they're both well-trained. Because if someone is that
that's
good...
unlikely.
It's not unlikely. It happens quite often.
Okay.
When you get elite competitors, like elite black belts at the 145, 155-pound weight limit, you'd be shocked.